I just always have this like existential crisis whenever I go on those shows, because like it's so weird to just be yourself when you like have no idea how to do that. But I have no plan. I never have a plan when I go on those shows. Like those kind of situations go against like every instinct in my body to like retell a story and act like it's the first time I've told it.
Can you tell when you're making someone else uncomfortable?
No.
You can't?
I don't know. I mean, if I could, I don't think I would. I mean, I don't ever want to make anyone feel uncomfortable.
Aubrey Plaza says weird things, and a lot of people think she's odd, and yet people like her anyway. Introverted thinking. She is precise with how she explains things and emphasizes certain details. She never delves into personal sentiment or values. She takes a subjective stance on information, usually in a stoically logical or humorous way, which is supported by her NE and SI, but less noticeably. A lot of her humor stems from what she disagrees with, and therefore parodies. Because it's a parody, we, the viewers, can see her views reflected back at us. It's usually related to someone doing a stupid act within a political or social atmosphere, rather than someone doing something morally wrong in her mind. We have a strong desire to seek the logic in how things are explained or why someone is doing what they're doing. Aubrey easily points out contradictions or inconsistencies. She speaks in a direct manner of what is and is not rational. TI is a mechanical function, and we find her speech orientation to be more focused on explaining how things are over what things are. Extroverted intuition. We can see her NE everywhere. Every anecdote she offers comes from a connection between the question and an obscure and unrelated story. She doesn't take the direct approach unless she is parodying someone. For instance, in a Conan interview, someone brings up teeth, and she instantly responds with, "My mother has all my baby teeth in her underwear drawer," which is representative of NE constantly connecting external stimuli, and SI remembering details. NE is connective, finding connections between stimuli and acting on or expressing them in conversation. Most of what Aubrey says is an illusion, or subversive reflection of other information. The fact that she's asked about zombies and a minute later, she's detailing how she taught her boyfriend to fly a helicopter to survive the apocalypse shows how far she can go from the original question in a short period of time. She often does that, and rarely does she actually go in and seriously answer questions without some humor. Introverted sensing. She values SI, as she's always recalling past events and talking about them in great detail. She'll roast anyone, and it can make others feel really awkward because they don't know how to respond, and because she feels that way too. It's not a healthy way of using her extroverted feeling. The logic could possibly go like this: if you're awkward, then you are free to make others feel uncomfortable. She's really impersonal and rarely focuses on any matters of personal significance. She doesn't utilize the emotional atmosphere in any significant way besides being a skilled comedian. We see a strong SI in how she talks about her experiences, and NE in the way she delivers them.
I actually have a weird fascination with old people. When I was a kid, I really wanted to be an old woman. Because I felt and I still feel like old people can kind of do whatever they want. Like, they can get away with anything. And when I was a kid, I used to go to the mall. And you know those mall fountains? Mm-hmm. Like the pools in the middle of the mall? I always thought that if I was an old person, like an old lady, I could jump in there and swim around, and you know, and like they wouldn't like arrest me because I could be like, I'm old.
You're a weird man.
My mother has all my baby teeth in her underwear drawer.
What? What happens when you encounter fans? Do fans expect you to be mean?
Some of them do, I find. Yeah, some of them, a lot of people that recognize me kind of back away. They don't come towards me.
They don't approach, they recoil.
Yeah.
And then she tells a story about a woman who recognized her and started crying. So she started giving her things because she didn't know what else to do, but she wanted to help her. In another interview, she says she took something from the vice president's desk and stops mid-sentence.
Vice President Biden
Yeah.
did a cameo
Yeah.
on the show, and I understand you got to spend time with the vice president.
And he actually let us take like a little tour of his office, which was cool, and I stole something off his desk, so that also happened.
You stole something off the vice president's desk
Yeah.
in the White House.
Yeah, I was gonna bring it to show you, but I couldn't find it.
Are these sensitive documents?
Yes. I think I just realized that I shouldn't be saying this. But
Yeah.
I think I'm trapped now.
Okay. This is my favorite kind of interview then,
Yeah.
so.
It's as though she lacks a filter when she speaks, and only after she reflects back does she realize what she actually said. It's more likely that she has an inferior FE rejection of social harmony than a dominant FI orientation around authenticity. This seems to make more sense to us given her emotional aloofness. She once said that if she knew that she could make people feel uncomfortable, she wouldn't, which alone confirms her FE inferior. She's comfortable when she's around ENTPs, like Conan, because he accepts her NE and brings it out even more. Conan gives her the opportunity to express herself freely, and maybe that's why her interviews with him are some of the most chaotic and connective. In her interactions with Conan, she follows his train of thought and responds on the spot to NE propositions. Since Conan is more comfortable with people than she is, he helps her inferior FE to connect with others by expanding on her jokes. Aubrey does have original ideas in her comedic style. She's a one-of-a-kind comedian that thrives on FE awkwardness. She seems to not fully relax in her surroundings most of the time. Contrast her with Scarlett Johansson, an example of someone with auxiliary SE. She acts comfortably in her surroundings and she can play off her inferior FE due to SE charisma. Aubrey, on the other hand, only relies on past experiences. A person with SE would probably feel embarrassed or awkward at the things she says and does, but Aubrey is different. It's like she forgets where she is and lets random stories in her mind loose. In short, Aubrey Plaza's personality type is INTP. When she talks, we see more TI and E. She uses TI because she's sarcastic and talks without thinking too much about the audience. Her NE is obvious. She jumps from one idea to another and finds connections. She uses SI because she often talks about her past experiences. Her FE is the lowest. If her FE were higher, she'd be more careful with the words she uses. Thank you for watching. Do you agree with our breakdown? If you enjoy our content and want to see more, please leave a comment and subscribe to our channel.
What personality type is Aubrey Plaza? Thank you.
Okay, so I recently did, I believe it's the Jungian personality test. I'm an ENFG. INFG? ENFG. Something like that.